Okay, let's go. Best of 5, everybody. The playoffs continue. Day number 2, and we are looking at the lower bracket, the losers bracket. And our first match today, the Donuts against Cow Attack, the Polish team in blue on the left. Best of 5 series. And some people will immediately ask, like, hey, wait a second, Khaldor. What exactly is going on here? Why are the Donuts in the losers bracket? Well, it's pretty simple. We had 10 qualification tournaments, and the Donuts only played in 3 of them. Therefore, they didn't get a lot of points, especially since in one of the tournaments they faced off against Team very, very early on and lost. So they barely made it into the top 8, and that's why they're now, I think they made it into 8th position. That's why they're currently playing down here in the lower bracket. But it will be interesting. So we had, of course, our first day where we focused on the winner bracket, and there was a lot of excitement, especially the winner bracket final was a highlight. I mean, holy shit. We had an insane best of 5. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, then I would heavily recommend that you are going to give that match a look. Team against the Hardos was incredible. But now we're focusing on the lower bracket, and of course here the stakes are raised. The second that you lose a match, you are out of the tournament. There's 4,000 euros on the line in total, and for all of you that haven't followed the XCup Summer all that much yet, once again, it's all sponsored by Private Heroes of the Storm fam from Germany, Europe, who has been a Heroes of the Storm player and fan ever since Alpha. Played and watched esports in the Alpha, Beta, watched HGC obviously, and is still someone that loves the scene and wants to support it a bit. And big shout out therefore to our Mr. X, who makes all of this here possible. We got Nazebo banned out. Okay, so a ban on Nazebo. Nazebo was kind of interesting. Yesterday we had our first day of the tournament, and all of a sudden after the first best of 5, bam, Blizzard drops a patch on us, and everybody is just looking at us like, alright, how does that influence things now? One of the changes was Nazebo. Nick, playing for the Hardos, immediately jumped on the case and started to pick the hero twice. They won both of those games. But after that, Nazebo started to drop off a bit. Now, obviously, a day later, a lot of the teams have more time to just look at the heroes, look at the patch changes, play a little bit with them in Storm League, check some stuff out in try mode. And now we have, therefore, a ban on Nazebo. If that's really warranted or not, that's still a question. It seemed, at least yesterday, that Nazebo can be strong, but he's not necessarily all-powerful. But of course, he also has a few things that he offers outside of just his sheer damage. Especially if you're playing around a lot of stuns and you want to set up a zombie wall to trap a target even further. You can do a whole lot with that. Now, as our first pick, we still get Vala. She was also nerfed by Blizzard. There's a couple of heroes in general that they adjusted slightly. They made some adjustments on Leo too. I talked in 2 best of 5s already about it in yesterday's matches. But as it stands, we now have Sylvanas as an early pick and Rexa. With the Nubara coming in for Lauber. Yeah, Nubara getting played a lot. Zelia obviously as the main tank currently for Team also locking him in time and time again. To an extent where he even gets banned out against him. I mean, getting kind of crazy. So yeah, and there's Hogger. I liked it, by the way, yesterday, because, you know, like a lot of the players, like Nick went for the IQ 200 play. He just looked at it like, well, you know what? Over the last couple of months, every single time Blizzard touched a hero and said, we want to buff him a little bit, they fucked it up royally, over-buffed that hero into oblivion, and made him totally OP. So Nick just looked at it and was like, wait a second, Nazebo? Now, they touched specialist after specialist. First they overbuffed Gazlo, then they overbuffed Zagara. It feels like Glaurung is working for them all of a sudden. No, not Glaurung. What's the other guy? What's that specialist player in an A that was doing nothing else but running it down on the side lane with his specialist? Ugh, I forgot it. It's not Glaurung. I'm taking it back. Sorry, Glaurung. I didn't try to offend you. Glogan! It's Glogan, exactly. So, maybe he's working for Blizzard now. I don't know what's going on, but they definitely have a hard-on for specialists these days. So, Nick sees that in the patch notes and he's immediately like, you know what? That's my thing. I'm going to try it out. Anyways, jokes aside, Mimikyu and Jojo, we got Deckard Cain in 2. And here is Zarya. Look at that. Anduin and Zarya together with Vala, so they definitely want to put some emphasis on that. Nice. Yeah, for Tomb, it's honestly, it's an interesting lineup. Anduin is something I didn't necessarily expect here. We didn't have that many crazy support bans. Deckard Cain also was slightly buffed. That's one of the reasons why he's currently taken. The fuck just happened? Hello, team? Kel'Thuzad? What? Did I miss something in the patch notes? I'm pretty sure he wasn't touched. What the fuck is going on? Kel'Thuzad as a last pick? I mean, count me in. Game number 1, everybody. The best of 5. The Donuts against Cow Attack. Okay, ladies, let's go. We have our first match of the day, our first map of the day, and our first surprise of the day. Kel'Thuzad? Really? So the Polish team on the left side, they are going straight up for the attack. Napierdalaj! And they go with Richu on Raxa, Mimikyu on Jojo, Arion is praying Sylvanas. We got Pesca on Deckard Kane, and Cesabos on Kel'Thuzad. Not touched in the patch. Really interesting pick here. I'm very, very surprised to see him chosen. We can talk about him quite a bit, but let's introduce the players on the red team first. We got Skog on Hogger. Ixia is playing Zarya, so they actually switch things around a bit because Tai is currently playing Anduin. And if you think about the way that they're normally setting things up, you find Tai on a damage dealer. So Ixia's Zarya is quite strong, but that also means that Anduin now has to be played by Tai. Lauba is playing Nubarak, and Marlow is the one that plays Vala for the team. Okay, so bit of a role shift here. Again, Ixia Zarya quite strong, but normally he's the one playing the main support for them, so that had to deviate away. But let's talk a bit about Kel'Thuzad. So Kel'Thuzad, just in general, if you end up in a position where he can siege up on a team, he can be really powerful. And on Tomb of the Spider Queen, if you combo him off with a good Web Weaver wave push, you can do a whole lot. A good Kel'Thuzad player is dangerous, but Kel'Thuzad has a big problem. And the problem is that if you just spit in his direction, he is likely going to die. So that guy just has no hit points. He has no escape tool, he has no hit points, and that's why normally in his role he's not being taken, because a lot of other mages that could be taken instead are just better, or damage dealers in general. They offer more. And for Kel'Thuzad, another thing that is very important is also him completing his baseline quest. And that's something that Cesabos is already working on. They have a fair amount of slows and also some stuns that they can use to help him out. But positioning is going to be everything for him. So very, very interesting choice. And I cannot remember, I honestly can't remember the last time that I've seen a Kel'Thuzad in any tournament outside of, you know, the first rounds when you had some no-name teams. Even then you don't see him. So I am very interested to see how this is going to go. Because that is definitely unexpected, heavily unexpected. I know that there's going to be a couple of Plastic League players that are looking at this like, I don't understand, I play him in quick match and he works awesome. But in any kind of game where money is on the line and players play that are playing at the top level of Europe, we don't see that hero. So, very interesting choice. And I'm excited for it. I'm really excited. I want to see if he can pull that off. The Donuts are, of course, a tough team to beat in the first place. They had a problem during the season of the XCup summer. The problem was that Richu apparently had PC problems. His PC died or whatever. And he bought a new one, but the delivery got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And to the day, he is not participating in the tournament simply because he doesn't have a PC that he can play on. So very unfortunate for them, but they were still able to pull through with some sub players. And now they are pressured in the mid lane. They have to fall back behind the gate as the Sylvanas push together with Cesabos and the chains that he's YOLOing out. He's doing very well. There's the stun though against Sylvanas, and she is dead. Nicely done. Yeah, very, very nice play by them. That's the first kill. And that was at the perfect moment in time, because they were under pressure when it happened, and it could have been pretty rough for the mid lane wall if they didn't lock that kill in on Sylvanas. And now they are the ones in the driver's seat. So immediately they rotate down to the bot lane where they've already taken those siege giants. And with the help of the mercenary camp and the rest of the team, they now break through the wall. And that's great for the initial setup. So once we see Web Weavers in the game, they can try and go for the fort directly. And they're going for a bit of a trap too. Misha is going to sniff all of that out. We have 17 stacks by the well for Kel'Thuzad, so good for him. Oh, nice! Look at that. They're cornering Sylvanas, and that's a kill. Well played. Level 7 gets locked in. By the way, quick note that Hot Pursuit was nerfed in the recent patch, so the bonus has been reduced from 2.5% to 2%. That's something that triggered adjustments from Nick in the games yesterday with Vala, so he didn't take Hot Pursuit anymore. But at least in this game, we're having Marlow still lock the talent in and continuing with the very normal build on Vala, focusing on the multi-shot, of course, as you can tell. Rotation now all the way up towards the top. Kel'Thuzad on the 7 with a chilling touch. Getting the chains together. 21 stacks for him. They're in the choke point though. They're in trouble. And Sylvanas dies once more. Second kill against Sylvanas. The Donuts now with 3 kills to 0. Yeah, and things are getting a bit difficult now because the red team is locking in the first objective. They are also looking at a 1-level advantage. With a bit of pressure now, they might be able to lock in a level 10. And once they hit heroic abilities, they can of course push this even further and dominate the middle of the map and therefore the 2 turning points even further. Bot lane pressure from Hogger. Right now, where Beaver's touching ground, and it seems that most of the action is going to center around the mid lane, as the blue team is setting up a defense here. Cesabos with 23 stacks on the baseline. He really needs to complete this one. That's going to increase the damage on Kel'Thuzad quite a bit. But here comes Zarya. And them empowering Vala over and over is just really helping. I mean, look how much they are zoning Richu out already. So, there it is. Didn't I just talk about him not being here? I mean, no, I talked about the other one, sorry, Rutsu. Richu's here. Similar names, different teams. Sorry, my bad. I confused myself for a second. So there's the level 10 abilities, and guys, I don't know what to tell you, but if you're 2 levels ahead and you have a level 10 over your opponent, yeah, they are screwed. So now it's chase time. Misha is already down, but Zarya dies. The problem is that the old man and Jojo are also getting eliminated. Lauber, on the other hand, with 15 gems, is trying to make it out. Yeah, gets a bit of cover and is able to escape. The fort at the bot lane has been destroyed. They're going for the middle. Richu, and he's dead. That's 15 gems down the drain. And Nubarak died too. So does Hogger. What is this brawl in the middle? I mean, what the hell? They get the fort, and I guess I'm still calling worth it, since Tai is walking around with 26 gems. He collected most of them. And they destroyed 2 forts, which is incredible considering that this was only the first Webweaver wave. They also destroyed the bottom wall, so that's kind of fantastic. But they lost 3 heroes in the process too, so there's that. The quest is nearly completed for Kel'Thuzad. We have him on level 10 with the Shadow Fissure. Light Bomb is in, so they can make the engage with maybe Hogger. The Hortapult is ready for our Fleabag. And in the mid lane, they're setting up for potential turn, I suppose, because the blue team, they definitely have the gems for it. Can they make that work, though? Kel'Thuzad is at 27 stacks. He's not done with the baseline. We have him at 10,000 damage, which isn't too bad. But if you compare the damage output to Hogger and Vala and Zarya, then they're still trailing behind here. Quest completed for Vala. Maybe love to get this a bit earlier done. Game number 1 in the best of 5, and they're already going for it. Here comes another quick attempt as Cesabos is trying to get his stacks in. They're making the play for Deckard Kane. The old man, Sylvanas, careful. She's low. And they're getting out with the exception of Jojo. She dies. Yeah, they're suffering. They are suffering. The quest at least is completed. 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Kel'Thuzad completed his quest and is now able to just rack up the damage a bit. Now, the problem is that they are potentially facing off against another Webweaver wave, and that also gets comboed with an additional level 13 talent advantage. So things are difficult for the blue team. If they can somehow control this, keep the gems that they're currently holding, and then maybe get a double turn in afterwards, and there's always a chance to bring it back. But things are definitely becoming more difficult as all of this continues. Okay, so 31 gems on Kel'Thuzad alone. They're trying to get the turn in, but it's Hogger down here that turns in first. And they still have the camp activated, so Tai is able, with the help of Skog, to get the Siege Shines. That enhances the push at the bottom even further. And yep, with that, the agenda for the blue team has to be soak level 10. Try to make sure that you get the extra talent. Fight on eye level and somehow defend those keeps. Make sure that you're not going to lose out on them. So for the time being, still a 1.5 level lead and a talent advantage for the Donuts. And they're pressuring everywhere. That push alone is just so dangerous because of Web Weavers plus Siege Giants. And you don't really know what to defend first. The top lane is also getting attacked, and that fort is going down. Nobody is there to defend it. They just can't split themselves that thin. They need to muster up their defense in the middle and at the bottom of the map. And they also need to get that level 13. It's a rough time for them. But they get level 13. Now they can also defend the bot lane. Even the fountain is still in play, so good for them. But yeah, level 13 talents are in. Khaldor with the chain link right here. Bit of an attack in the mid lane again as they're making another play for Jojo. But so far the Donuts were unable to get anything done, at least when we're talking about keep control. There's one Web Weaver still active, that's at the top lane, and Cesabos is the one moving up with Khaldor, but down here the fight continues. The follow-up on the stun, fantastic, and now Deckard Kane gets murdered as Ixir comes through with another particle grenade. They're trying to turn it on Richu now, and if he dies, and he will, then 15 gems are lost to them. They're also about to lose Johanna here. Marlow with the Manticore gets the hits in. Cesabos, the only one that survives. They keep, of course, lost at this point. They won't be able to save it. 18,000 damage for Khaldor, but as you can tell, that's just nowhere near what Vala, Holger, and Zarya are bringing to the table. And with the first keep already destroyed in a 3-level advantage at this point, the Donuts lock in another talent advantage. They go for another keep, and they take Khaldor down. Now, Arion is taking the gems, but he's not out of the woods yet, and he dies as Marlow vaults forward and closes the gap to hit another auto attack and drop him. 14 kills, 2-3. Misha is down as well. Don't worry, PETA has been informed. You don't have to report them. I've already done it. 17 against 14. A 3-level lead. A 3-level advantage. Another keep about to go down. They're going for maximum experience here. They're taking all of the structures down. Blessed Shield misses, adding insult to injury. And with Ty on... Oh, there comes the light bomb. And again, Khaldor is dead. That's a problem. He doesn't have any hit points. He doesn't have escape tools. Not like the other players on the team are faring any better here, but they are just getting farmed. The Donuts are turning Heroes of the Storm into Farmville. And we have Sylvanas dying too. No chance to escape. Obviously the core is the only thing that's left here. They're trying to take Jojo down too. 5-man team wipe, baby. And they take the shield down. They go for the core, and they are gonna lock in the victory on the first map of this best of 5 series. It was a nice idea by Team Counterattack. They tried something different, but it didn't work for them. The Donuts, they take the lead as they lock in the W. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Tomb of the Garden Curse, everybody! The map has been chosen. Blizzard's hybrid love child between Tomb of the Spider Queen and Cursed Hollow is now in. I mean, we are looking forward to these garden terrors, garden terrors, as the teams are trying to channel tributes, seeds. Totally new mechanic, completely different playstyle, and never before seen objective mix on the map. It's fantastic. So Tomb of the Garden Curse, map number 2, we already got the lead for the Donuts. They locked in a victory on map number 1. And our first ban is Junkrat. It's a big map, of course. So we could see the teams again prioritize globals. Dehaka comes to mind. Falster definitely a good pick. Maybe even Vikings. They have been played a few times here. So that's something that could happen today too. And the Donuts looked pretty dominant in game number 1. They are the favorite for this, for sure. So we'll see. Really? I mean, really? Why you no fun? The second that we thought maybe it's time for the Vikings again, this happens. So yeah, the Donuts, they are not fun at all. Can we have a little bit of fun in the house? Yeah. Alright. These guys might not be German, but they definitely have the same sense of humor. So no Vikings in the game for the blue team. We have a ban on Vala. And, well, let's go. What are we banning on the red team side? I'm a little bit disappointed. Having the option of the Vikings at some point appearing in the draft is always kind of nice. I guess technically you could still try to play with Abathur, for example. That's an option. Falstad, Dehaka, as mentioned previously, are also pretty good choices here. Also, anything that helps you to get mercenary camps, because well, Dehaka is also getting banned. Yeah, the donuts, they're destroying everything here. As I said, you want to have camp control. There's so many camps on this map, you want to make sure that you have at least a hero in your arsenal, you know, that can get camps quickly. So that you can lock them in as fast as you can, maybe steal some away from the opponent. All that stuff. But, first big time. And the blue team goes for Brightwing. Alright, so the Fruit Fly is in. That's the first global that we're already getting. That leaves Falstad. And I guess technically ETC with Stage Dive. Now, you can always say, well, maybe Samuro, you know, but we haven't really seen him a whole lot, so we'll see. But, well, let's go. The double pick for the red team. They did a great job in game number 1. They took the lead. It's a best of 5 series. And whoever loses here is out of the tournament. Tyrande and Falstad. Yeah, we talked about our girl yesterday. It was picked once, and I think they won the game. Did they? Guys, I can't remember. No, they lost, right? The Tyrande setup yesterday, it lost? I honestly don't remember if they won or lost yesterday, but they played a double support with her. So that made it an interesting combo, because they played Stukov plus Tyrande, and that was kind of cool as a bit of a thought experiment. But when we're talking about Ixen and Donuts, they tried now multiple times to make Tyrande work as a solo support. And they had mixed results, but you have quite a few teams that are trying to be way more aggressive with their support choice these days, and Tyrande helps a lot with that. Now on a map like Tomb of the Garden Curse, she can quickly hit that owl and interrupt anybody that channels the tribute, the seed, and that kind of helps. You know, you have just delay tactics happening here. Falstad for the global, also kind of nice, but we get Zeratul on the other side, and he is going to pressure both. He's going to pressure Tyrande, and he's going to pressure Falstad. He can go straight up for the bird, and if they don't get something else to control Zeratul whenever he makes a move, that could be a big problem. A good Zeratul player can shred both. Those are two squishies in the back line. You need a bit more than an unreliable stun that Tyrande can provide. So whatever they're using on their side lane and in the main tank position, it needs to be something that has the chance of locking that stun in. That's, by the way, the reason why Uther gets banned out, because they don't want to see a double support with Tyrande where one stun leads into another and just locks Zeratul down 6 days to Sunday. So, yeah. But, okay. What do they do to mitigate that weakness now? Because they gotta do something, right? Full-on wave clear cancer. What the hell? Zul and Asmodan. We had an Asmodan game the other day, if you remember, and they just ran around the opponent and used Asmodan to push the lanes down, went for the demonic invasion on level 10 and destroyed one structure after another. And they are gonna play the map, and that's it. They're only going to play the map. It's going to be macro, 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 macro. Have Asmodan push solo. Zul is controlling lanes. Falstad is also going to dictate that. Oh boy, this got spicy. We have Richu and Sonya, and Gul'dan is in. That is spicy. And Deathwing as a last pick, so now we have a bit more of a global presence here for them. Yeah, the Donuts are gonna try to cancel them into oblivion, and this is gonna be a really annoying game to play for Team Cow Attack. If they can do it, that's a different question. Game number 2 coming up. Garden of Terror is our map. Let's head straight into it, ladies and gentlemen, and see if the blue team can win the second map of the best of 5. Game number 2. She's right. The battle begins shortly. On the left side, Team Cow Attack. We are on Tomb of the Spider Garden or Garden Curse, whatever. Either way. Richu on Sonya, Pesca on Brightwing, Arion is playing Zeratul. He's the one that needs to try and take down Falstad and Tyrande, I suppose. Cesabos is playing Gul'dan and Mimikyu on Nubarak. Yeah, and then again, on the side of the Donuts, you have a couple of This is a horrifying lineup for this map. It's a huge map, and Lauber's playing Falstad. We got Skog on Deathwing, Ixe on Tyrande, Tai plays Asmodan, and Marlow on Zul. And a lot of you guys are going to look at the draft and they're like, what the the hell is happening? Asmodan, what are you talking about? Tyrande, what's going on here? And I can pretty much tell you what's going on. They are not gonna fight a whole lot of team battles. The whole idea of this draft is just to cancel Team Cow Attack down as much as they can. Dominate with the wave clear that they have on the side of Zul, lock a couple of camps in whenever possible, and use especially Ty's Asmodan to push all the lanes. He can use his trade for that, he can also use the Demonic Invasion once that he connects to level 10, and just go for the wave clear. Control every single lane and push it against the opponent's team so that they never really stand a chance on that. And this is more or less what they're trying to pull off now, which means that Team Cow Attack needs to attempt to shut that down wherever they can. But it starts with a kill on a Nubarak. And yeah, that's the first one to fall here. So the first bug fix is already in. Donuts are faster than Blizzard ever was with the bug fixing. The first bug is eliminated. And the Nubarak already back to business. But now they're pushing the bot lane. And I gotta say, this is not the opening that Cow Attack was hoping for. Not even close. Already they're losing structures, and yeah, this is just gonna be a disaster. By the way, this is a Deathwing skin, okay? Just in case there was any confusion, this is a Deathwing skin. That fucking chicken that some people go for, where they go full turkey mode on him, and he just looks like a plucked chicken and goes turkey, that's not a skin. Falstad died, I don't care, that's a skin, okay? That's something that you want to pick. This looks good. The turkey, it doesn't look good. Don't take it. It's an insult to the Dragon Union, and they are already filing a complaint to make sure that the skin is not being allowed by Blizzard anymore. Just needed to get that out there. We needed to talk about it. Now we've done exactly that, and therefore we're good. Either way, kill for kill so far. And we have on top of that the level 4 talents kicking in. A bit of a push now happening at the bot lane. Again, big map, lanes, very much so spaced out. And now opportunities not only for kills, but also for a little bit more lane push. And Cesar Boss is down. Nice stun. The stun into the barbecue. And that is an easy kill. Nicely done. 3 kills, 2 1s. That's a double kill that they just have there. All the way up at the top. That's where Ty is now doing his thing again. He's going to murder. Hellforged Armor is in already. He has a couple of stacks. Initially, they helped him. But this is not really that Asmodan build, you know, where you are relying on your Orb of Annihilation completely and you need to the entire time stack in the early game. Obviously, he needs to do that too. But they're not going to attempt to use the Orb in team fights. I mean, later in the game, they might do that a little bit, but that's not really the idea behind the draft, as you can tell. So it's a bit of a different setup. Zeratul already with another attempt to put the pressure on. And yeah, this time he's not able to do a lot. But he just needs to poke. I mean, his job is honestly simply to just poke, get a couple of hits in. Talking about getting hits in, damn. Right Wing with a safe attempt, nicely done. Good polymorph on X here. Once the Hunter's Mark is applied, that's of course a lot of damage that can be dished out very, very quickly. Yeah, Cesar Boss is all alone against the Siege Giants now. We're closing in on level 7. Yeah, and he is suffering again. There's level 7 abilities. Falstad with a secret weapon. That's another talent that gives you on the side lane a lot more pressure, since this is the ideal scenario when you're attacking structures. And they are already getting more damage in on Gul'dan, and he needs to fall back a bit more, which also means that the last Siege Giant can still do damage. Now, there's another seed up on the map. We got 3 kills to 1. And of course, by now we have the Master of Destruction right here. That's a really important talent if you want to go for that particular playstyle. Another hit, and that's a kill for a kill. Zul is down, but so is Gul'dan. They're still playing this out, and Asmodan is just playing side lane the entire time. Lauber a bit low, and I said earlier that Zeratul is going to attempt to take him down whenever he can, and with Brightwing now healing him up, there's a chance that they're going for the birdie, but here comes Deathwing. Alright, so the dragon is back to business, and they are doing a lot of work down here. Arian, careful my friend. In the meantime, Ty is rotating between the lanes. Zul is obviously going to help. But there we go. Bam, gets a couple of stacks together. Easily done. So you can self-stack super easily now. And just looking at the output in terms of damage, he's at 37,000 siege damage. 37,000. So that's solid. That's very, very solid. And Ty is just gonna continue doing this until they hit level 10. then he's going to go for Demonic Invasion very likely, and all the structures on the map are going to be under threat whenever he makes a move. And of course, he can always try to move from one fort to another, get those keeps in eventually, backdoor a little bit. So yeah, there is a lot that they can do here. Top side, they're pressuring even further as they're making the move. Yeah, but X, yeah, dodging out on the stun, but he's completely cut off from the rest of the team. They're trying to go for the kill, and Nubarak is also low, and X, is he really going to survive this? Are you kidding me? Ixia survives, the Gust saves the rest from the team. That's insane. That is insane. How did he survive that? You gotta be kidding me. Also, with 140 stacks now, here we have it, the Demonic Invasion. Cesarboss is gonna try to burn it down as quickly as he can. He has the AoE to do that. At the top, they're also going for Brightwing, and Pesca gets eliminated. The rotation was a bit too late. It still comes in. Oh! And that's a double kill. Oh yeah, baby. When Sonya goes for the leap, you better be ready or you're dead. And that is the same fate that Zul is experiencing now, but they can try and go for the next seed. So each team has a seed at this point. It's 5 kills to 5. But as I highlighted earlier, the Donuts, they have a lot of wave clear that they can use. Azmodan is dead. Yeah, you can't get caught like this. Azmodan is a little fatty, and he cannot get away once that you start body blocking him. But what started all of this is our little double kill at the top. So keep in mind, Sonya comes in, goes for the leap, bam, that's a double stun, the follow-up from Nubarak, and they get the easy kill right there. So now we're still looking at that bottom... careful, Deathwing. Alright. With the ult, he saves himself. They're just buying some time. They're buying time for Lauba at the top to do more damage. Keep that secret weapon as a level 7 talent choice in mind. That's exactly what he's using now to attack the structures and do more damage there. And Azmodan is also back to business, and they're interrupting even further. So they have tons and tons of interrupt potential. Yeah, there's another interrupt coming in. They can, at the same time as they're taking Zul down, now also use Ixia and his Owl to interrupt even further. And during all of this, as mentioned, Lauba is at the top, took the fountain down, is going for the fort. Eventually, obviously, we're going to have the channel from Team Cow Attack, but it's going to take them a lot of time. And Tai is committing his ult to the delay. So all of this is simply them trying to delay. But over here, that's still a problem. There was a Gust attempt against Arion. Lauba has the shield, and it seems like they're all gonna get away. Brightwing came in, and now Lauba has to run, and he has to run fast. Run far and run fast. Lauba able to get out, but that could have been a problem. They still haven't finished this, by the way. They just can't get it. There's too many interrupts. And the Horrify is in, and also Cocoon has been used at the same time. The stun connects. Sonya has to leap out. What a game. The Fiesta is in full swing at this point. This objective is never going to be channeled by the blue team. Eventually, I guess the Donuts are going to get it if this continues. Ixia is low. Keep in mind, Tyrande has problems with their survivability. They're actually going for the team fight. Bit surprised by that. The barbecue from Deathwing. Falstad is dead. And as mentioned during the draft, it's Zeratul that threatens him the most. Zeratul is the one to go for Falstad and Tyrande. Tai is dead too. Team fights are not going to be their friend in most cases. They need early kills if they want to run the team fights, and I don't think they can get them. The tribute has now been channeled finally by Team Cow Attack, and they are starting to move into the bot lane now in an attempt to also get some structures down. Now we have to keep our eye on Azmodan once he respawns and can go to the top lane. His trade is always going to do work, so that's one of his best tools. This is actually an interesting move too, because they are trying to jump in here. 64,000 damage now by our boy Azmodan on the siege. Mimikyu getting out of the fight. Has to. 9 kills to 5. Zeratul is also on the run. With a choo-choo. And another seed is happening. Yeah, Richard at the top with Sonya can go for the next camp. Camp's important on the map. I talked about this earlier. If you can lock them in, then great for you. Deathwing is, by the way, the only one on the red team that hasn't fallen yet, even once. But there's an entire level lead now for Team Cow Attack, and they're going to try and bring that to level 16. So the strategy of the Donuts is not really working out 100% yet. You can definitely see the idea behind it. I mean, we've seen it now in multiple situations, but they haven't done enough damage yet. And if they lose the birdie here, and they do, they're losing even more ground. So this could be, I think the channel topside, Zeratul might interrupt it, but eventually we should have the red team lock it in. Depends a bit on Brightwing though. There's another kill. Yes, they're getting Asmodan again. Asmodan is dead and the strategy is just not working out for them. We saw it in action just last week and it worked well, but the reaction here is just too good. Deathwing dead. Now we have the Webweaver Garden Terrors coming in. And they're already pressuring at the bottom keep. So this is amazing right now for the blue team. They are pressuring everywhere. They're going for Tyrande. Zeratul is just ripping them a new one. Yeah, Zeratul is crushing this. He is farming the squishies. 13 kills, 2-5. And as you can tell, it's a 3-level lead. The bottom keep is taking some damage. The fort at the top lane gets easily destroyed. And in the middle of the map, they're also moving through the wall, the towers, the gate, to take another fort down. So Lauba and his boys, they are losing tons of ground here. The idea to play around the opponent, use the globals, use the mobility and the just push power that you have with Zul's wave clear and Asmodan and his demonic invasion is just not coming together for them. Team Cow Attack is shutting it down early on and is now reaping what they saw. The early game was good for them. Here comes another Cocoon. Mimikyu in trouble, but Brightwing with a heal. Whoa! Another jump by Sonya into the back line. Deathwing is moving in. Here comes the Horrify, but they might lose Sonya. No, they are able to get out. So they couldn't take a keep down, but they did more than enough damage here. More than enough. Now the game is not over. This can always change. It can always turn, but at least the initial start is pretty decent for the blue team now. Level 16 talents on both sides. We got 32,000 damage for Zul as he slices and dices through the team fights. Down here, is he gonna go for the... he doesn't have the Cocoon. Could try and block a bit. There's a polymorph, and Lauba is dead. Yeah, that's a dead birdie, and they can try and take that keep down a notch. Not sure if... oh yes, they can take the entire thing. I was about to say, I'm not quite sure if they can take the entire thing down, but as they commit with 5 heroes to it, everybody moved in, they definitely can. So now we have 14-5. They're controlling every aspect of the map. They're stealing the camps away. They're transitioning into the mid lane to maybe drop the towers here. Deathwing is at the top. Always ready for some counter damage. But yeah, tough game now. Sonya is already saying hello. Can of course not do a whole lot about this. But there's the first fort that falls now on the blue team side. Blue team is very happy with the situation, obviously. Because now they are on 19.5, another half level, and they have level 20 abilities. Once that those storm talents are available to them, it's going to be even better. Look at it. It's the quad channel. The quad channel so that Deathwing can't annoy them even further. And Richu has to jump out. Yeah, he needs to jump out of this. Brightwing is also jumping in, so maybe they're not jumping out. No, the rest of the team is here. Whoa! And as Tyrande dies. So, nice. Good jump. And now they are already starting to focus down. Asmodan, maybe a kill on Brightwing. Not even that happens. Asmodan is dead. Sonya might fall. Nope, she gets out. Instead, it's Lauba that dies. 3 down. Level 20 talents kicked in. Deathwing is dead. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5-man team wipe as they drop the entire team. And that is a disaster. And I guess we're going to see them move through that bot lane. I'm going to take another look at that fight, though. Towards the end, as you can see, Lauba died after Asmodan got dropped. Then they focus Deathwing down. And they're stunning out Zul at the same time. He can't get away either. 5 heroes fall. Tyrande will be back in 2. But they're going for the core here. They have a 3-level advantage. And it seems that we're going to have a tie in the series. So, well done. Well done, well played. Zeratul with 48,000, definitely the VIP in this one. He shut them down, 19 kills to 5, and we are headed to game number 3 of the best of 5 series. Game number 3, Cursed Hollow. From seeds to tributes, everybody. Yeah, let's go. We have the next match coming up. So, the idea behind the draft that we had for the Donuts is kind of cool. We saw it successfully played last week, and it's really annoying to go up against it. But they had so many squishies, and as already pointed out during the draft, Zeratul was just an excellent pick that helped them so much to put pressure on Falstad, on Tyrande, and even Azmodan. So they were able to take all of them down. Easy peasy. They got a huge lead in kills, and that of course translated into map control that they could use. Yeah, and with that, we have them move into game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Again, we are in the losers bracket, so whoever loses the best of 5 is out of the tournament, and the winner will advance to the next round. First thing that happens is that Garrosh gets banned out. Yeah, with Cursed Hollow, you always have those 2 bosses that you need to consider. In game number 1, we had the Zebo banned out, so currently a bit curious if they are worried about the Witch Doctor again. I would definitely be worried about some of the more traditional picks. Of course, this is another big map where globals are strong, so the Haka would be good here, but Falstad gives you also control over the boss point with a good gust. And we had a lot of focus on just boss control. Junkrat, for example, can of course do a whole lot there too with his mine. That's one of the reasons why he's banned out. Just in general, he's incredibly annoying to go up against. They're targeting the front line. Lucio gets banned. No Lucio for Ixia, always assuming that they're not going to go for a Zarya composition this time. That would put Tai on the main support. And what's the first pick? Vala is up, so you can play around her if you want to design a Vala combo. They go for Brightwing. It's something that happens a lot lately, especially on bigger maps, because Brightwing just offers you a lot of global pressure. And there's the Haka. Yeah, the Haka, he was banned on the last map. This time they're coming through with a side lane pick immediately in the first rotation. They want to have that global. A bit hesitant on the second pick. I mean, you can literally go for the Haka Falstad. That's a rotation that we've seen multiple times now in the draft. And it allows you to just like interchange the heroes on the lanes. But Sylvanas, she has the power to take structures down. And of course also a lot of control later. You can go Wailing Arrow, Mind Control. Both of them are really strong. If you get a Dehaka drag into Mind Control, just to give you guys one example, that's a lot of CC that you can stack. And Sylvanas is incredibly strong also in terms of how much DPS she can put out in the right hands. But there's the Vala pick. And Hogga. Yeah, Hogga is going to pog it out with the boss and the camps. As I'm gonna go for that. And on the ban side, it's a little bit tricky. What do you ban here? You can either ban out a main tank because you're worried about Lauba, or you can really think, hey, do we need to ban another support? Because this is a solo support Vala, and Tai is one of the players that does not hesitate to play Vala with only one support. There's of course multiple ways to also play her. You can play a triple frontline, for example, to create more space. But they're even worried about the Vikings. I mean, yeah, I can see that. If you have a strong 4-man with Vala, just imagine a Zarya pick. No, actually, you can't really go for Zarya if you want to have a main tank. So I'm not sure if Vikings are really the one to ban out. I guess it's one of those better safe than sorry moves. Abathar also banned with the Haka as a global. Okay. Always a chance, of course, that there's a Zeratul locked in too. With Lauba, I'm always interested to see what kind of tank he plays. He's the one that sometimes just goes off the reservoir and just starts something completely new and says like, you know what, that's a great idea, even if it isn't. But yeah. So, Muradin and Whitemane. Okay. Whitemane in the house, everybody. And we got Muradin together with that. So, CC comes in with our Dwarf and the Haka. And now the last 2 picks. Game number 3. Which team is taking the lead here? The Donuts snuck into the top 8 in the leaderboard and barely qualified for the playoffs, which is why they're starting in the lower bracket. And they are one of the teams that, of course, we expect great things from. Tyrael and Tracer. Vala, Tracer with the Tyrael setup. Alright. Okay. This is either going to be really tricky, or they're just going to run over it. It's one of those things when you build up momentum, you can just crush them, but at the same time, let's find out how Counter Attack reacts to this. Because they already proved in map number 2 that you can't just cheese them out or anything. Well, last pick for Sasa Boss. the man that played Khaldor in the first game. And now he plays Phoenix. So, we got a Phoenix player in the house, everybody. Cursed Hollow, map number 3 in the best of 5 series here in the losers bracket of the XCup Summer. Let's go. Cow attack against the Donuts. Game number 3, and we got an aggressive draft for the Donuts. First, of course, on the left side, the blue team, Mimikyu and Muradin for Cow attack. The Polish team with Richu on Dehaka, Arion on Sylvana, Cesarbos on Phoenix, and Pesca on Whitemane. Yeah, the Phoenix pick is definitely interesting, and I am curious how much damage she can lock in as the game continues. Then again, on the other side, with the super aggressive lineup, we got Marlo and Tracer, Tayo and Vala, so they got both of them. We have Ixia and Brightwing to keep all of them alive, Skog on Hogger, and Lauber on Tyrael. Every single time you see something like this, the big question is, of course, are we going to see some weird stuff with, I don't know, Shockwave and Judgment, trying to get a stun lock on someone and then all the damage in, or is it the more traditional style with Sanctification? Good damage already at the top, so the Sylvana's play is set up as the rotation is hitting the blue team. Gotta get out of this one. That was a real nice move with the drag, but Brightwing was ready for it and used the polymorph. We have an arrow build also for Vala, so no multi-shot set up this time. And Dehaka transition down to the bottom of the map after this little move. So they're trying to put the pressure. Oh, he gets another one. Nice. Richu, you little monster. Look at you. Oh, those are some decent hits that he gets here. Very early on already. Some nice plays from him. Okay. And top side, that's where... Oh, the pleb horse. The pleb horse, also called the poverty horse. Arion, someone can't afford mounts. Yeah, you need the money pick, bro. You need the money pick in your life. You get enough gold. You can afford one. You don't have to pay real money or anything for that. Get the money pick and be happy. Rumor has it that the money pick increases not only your movement speed by 5%, but that also your attack damage is increased slightly. Now, I can neither confirm or deny these rumors, but you know, people are saying that they feel they're a little bit stronger when they ride the money pick. And I can understand this. It's a majestic piece of bacon that shits money. What else do you want from life? What else do you need? So, yeah. Long story short, get them out. Now, off we go. We got the repeating arrow in. Also have the magic spit now for Brightwing. Absolutely fucking disgusting. As usual. Whitemane with the thick thighs and martyrdom on level 4. Pity the frail. The Inquisition is in the house. Mimikyu. Yeah, I wanted to hit that Stormbolt on Marlo, but he dodged out on it. And it hit Lauber in the face instead. Nice damage spread also from Sylvanas. She got that. And we have another 5 versus 5 incoming if Dehaka is joining this battle. Phoenix says a boss and he gets out. But yes, they definitely went for him. Call was made and everybody just went for the Protoss. And I can totally understand that. Only a dead Protoss is a good Protoss. If you experience the A move times in StarCraft 2, then you don't like Protoss either. Unless, of course, you were a filthy Protoss player. And if that's the case, then I hope that the lag will always be with you. Arion on Sylvanas, the kill on Whitemane, but the counter pressure on Vala dropped her too, so a kill for a kill, as the teams are still playing a very aggressive play here. Lauber going for... I like the aggression. They played some really nice games in this best of 5 series already, with a lot of aggression, some odd picks that you normally don't see. Khaldor in game number 1 comes to mind, and it's quite entertaining. So, pretty fun. With that now, we got all the way at the top. Ixia, okay, Stormbolt, they go for Lauber, he's just jumping around, they got the early level 7 then again, so a slight advantage. Tai locks in his next talent too, goes for the frost shot on level 7, but gets zoned out slightly. Another drag, and that could be a kill. Lauber, and he goes down. Lauber is down, and that should lead to tribute number 1. Grabbed by the blue team. A little bit of a jump around there by the heavy impact. We also have the warp warfare, and intercession is in as well. Yeah, I don't know, guys. When I started the series today, I really thought the Donuts, they're gonna have a good run here. And I still think that, generally speaking, they should be the ones in the driver's seat. And they are ahead in experience, but Team Cow Attack is doing a way better job here than I expected. I mean, they weren't weak in the qualifiers either, but it just felt that with all of the experience that we have on the side of the red team, that they should be the ones to, you know, dictate the pace of the game a bit more. But right now, it feels a little bit different. I like the damage output that we get through Tracer and Vala, and it's aggressive lineup for the Donuts, so if they coordinate all of this perfectly, they should be able to get kills during the upcoming fights. But there is a bit of a question mark, of course, as well. So, we'll see. For now, also, Marlow, with his little snowflake over here, goes for the channel. Up at the top, they are trying to get Sylvanas' value by taking another one of the towers down. Lauber all alone there. Brightwing doesn't count. And they are getting some damage in. The fruit fly is buzzing around them. They don't give a shit. Instead, they're trying to go for Lauber, who's driving Whitemane away and secures the fort. But it's already on 50% HP. Tie bouncing in too. And we are looking towards level 10. And I really want to see what gets used by the red team. I really, really want to see what they're going for. And there are obvious picks. There are picks that you would expect, but they've been a little bit crazy. And I don't put anything past them anymore. And they go for the boss right next to the opponent's team. It's Sanctification, by the way, for the boss points in particular. That makes perfect sense. We also have the Scarlet Aegis. And here comes the fight already. Oh, Sylvanas with the ult, and it absolutely locked them in. Tie with a strafe. That's a good salvo. 1 down, 2 down. Beautiful wave. It's a triple kill. It's a quad kill. And that was just fantastic for Team Cow Attack. They go for the boss. We take another look at that battle. Beautiful. Look at that salvo. That salvo locked in everybody and just finished them off. They lost Vala, Tyrael, Brightwing, and Hogger within seconds. And now the boss is about to be taken. There's nothing that the Donuts can do about it. That was a big, big victory in this first team fight for Team Cow Attack. They find themselves a level ahead. They have the boss now. Dehaka is already at the bottom of the map. And there's, of course, another boss up for grabs that they could technically take as well. That fort, is it gonna make it? I don't think so. I mean, I don't really think that Vala has already enough to take it down by herself. But they are making the play for the bot lane. By the way, I love how he moved out of the boss circle and Sylvanas said, I don't give a shit, and just moved in. It's like, root me, who cares? So, yeah, Arian didn't care. But they will lock in boss number 2. So it's a double boss play. The top fort has fallen. The red team is already moving in, but they are too late to intervene. Nothing that they can do about this any longer. Up at the top, boss is doing some additional damage, but of course it's gonna fall now. Over here, they're trying to go for Muradin. Did the piggy just jump? Did you just get turned into a pig and jumped anyways? Damn. That's some dedication from Muradin. Tie with a strafe, they go for the full zone, and that allows Brightwing to end that channel. Still need to deal with this in the mid lane. I mean, don't get me wrong, that boss at the bottom of the map is doing more work, but still, the mid lane camp is also starting to destroy some structures. And you don't want to lose that fort to that. Also the choke point, they're breaking through that. Careful here. That's a shockwave, stuns 2. In comes Muradin. Salvo hits only 1, but if they lock in the kill, they will be again in a great spot. The Sanctification just comes too late, and now they're playing around it. But a double kill against Cow Attack as Whitemane and Sylvanas both die. Muradin joins them. So that's a lot of dead heroes here. The bottom fort has fallen. The one in the mid lane also gets destroyed. And boy, the Donuts are a little bit angry here, huh? Team Cow Attack came in and took a bite out of the Donuts, and they didn't like it at all. So they turned into a bunch of bagels and started to drop them. And they're not sugarcoating this game anymore. Easy kills for them. That brought them back to level 13. They closed the gap in experience. Brightwing is holding the top. And that is 7 kills to 5 now in total. Let's take a bit of a look at the damage numbers with 26,000. It's Tracer who takes the number 1 position. And that's a potential curse. Can the blue team move in time? They're trying. They should be able to interrupt this. Tai is... Yeah, they saw Dehaka coming. Dehaka is the one that makes the move for them. And again, the strafe, very early popped. They're starting to fall. And even the Scarlet Aegis has been used here. So do they just accept the curse? It seems like it. They just blew too much already. There's a big issue. Lauber zoning. Yeah, they decide to not go for it. The worst case, honestly, the worst thing that can happen to you in that situation is you engage without having any heroic ability cooldowns anymore. You lose multiple heroes and then you get cursed anyways. So they just say, fuck it, let's accept the curse. Try and defend as best as possible, and then we fight another day. And they are already doing exactly that. They're trying to go for the kill, but Sylvanas is too far out, and she gets punished by Vala. The mad damage that we have. Oh, beautiful sanctification from Lauber. Negating the ult of Phoenix completely. Trading cooldowns here. He locked in 4 or 5 of the heroes with the targeting, and it just didn't do anything. I like, by the way, that we have at the top the Siege Giant camp, so that is going to stop this a bit. Good for them. But on all other lanes, they are struggling now. Might be a kill against Marlow. Can they drop him? No. Instead, Dehaka finds himself in trouble. And that's another one that bites the dust. Dehaka down, 7 kills to 7. The keep in the middle is about to fall. The one at the bottom of the map is also targeted and taken. And that is such a big win for the Donuts. Cow attack with a solid early and mid game, but now it's the Donuts show, and they already target the core here. A little bit low, so they have to be very careful with this, but the shield is gone and the core is taking damage as we speak, so they might be able to finish what they started, especially since this core is falling quickly. The level 16 talent advantage is giving them even more of a bonus, and that is game number 3. The Donuts again with the lead in the best of 5 series at the XCup summer. Infernal Shrines! Well, map number 4, potentially the last one. The Donuts need a victory to close out the series. Cow attack hoping to come in and tie it again, force the final map. And yeah, for now, last game. Initially it looked good for Cow attack. They did well, and then they just lost that one team fight horrifically. Gave also the curse up because they realized, well, we used most of our heroic abilities already. So there's that. And now Hogger gets banned. I mean, on Infernal Shrines, you can just like bounce and bounce and bounce through the shrine and get tons of value. This is the map where Asmodan was played last week. Just pointing it out. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see the same strategy attempted for the second time today. But that was the Asmodan map. Every single time that teams went for a fight around the shrine, we saw Asmodan just walk around, go for the next fort, drop it, go for a key, backdoor. Yeah, time and time again. Okay, so Uther gets banned. And we got the Junkrat banned. That outside poke that you have with him is super annoying. By the way, Zagara didn't play a role. So Zagara not playing a role right now after the patch. We had her played, I want to say 2 times. And teams kind of started to decide that they are not really... that she's not in a spot where she's like that powerful any longer. So at least here on the competitive side, Zagara has today not played a role. You see 1 ban against Nazeebo, but he hasn't been played yet either. Now, of course, as more teams will play today, this is going to change a bit. Yeah, first pick. We had a lot of focus on Brightwing on the first picks thus far today. Team Cow attack. Yeah, it's getting thinner up here. I need something to turn this around. And Blaze. Okay. Let's get Blaze in as the first one. Always nice on the shrine. You have a lot of AoE. You have some control with the oil spill. You have the bunker. So there's another safety net. Tie with an immediate Vala pick. And they get Leoric. Now, as pointed out, Leo has been changed. So you don't have to go for Needle Peasants on level 4 anymore. It's more or less... like the wave clear is pretty much baseline at this point for Leoric. So Blizzard is trying to open up the level 4 talent which just means that we're now seeing Paralyzing Rage being taken. So I don't think this is going to change. So Blizzard pretty much came in and said, like, you know what? We felt that Neil Peasants, it's mandatory. Leo is rotating the side lanes, and we want to open up a little bit more talent diversity. And all that changed now is that instead of going for Neil Peasants, people are going for Paralyzing Rage. Now, are we going to see some adjustments there? Maybe. But there is also a good chance that Blizzard just exchanged one talent that was more or less a must pick for another. So there's that. Deckard Cain, he was buffed in the patch. Gets taken. He was also in the days of HGC, of course, a staple. He was a very stable pick, and he was incredible at just controlling space. And now that his numbers got adjusted a bit and he's stronger and has more healing, now Deckard Cain is making a comeback. They're going for a Suljin ban here. We've seen a fair amount of Suljin games on mainly Battlefield, but over here they ban him out too. With Blaze and Tyrell, we also have a bit of an old school setup at the front line, so that means that you're now looking at layered defense with Sanctification and Bunker. Okay, and yeah, but the ban on Zarya, I like the Zarya ban. This is another map where Zarya can do a lot for you, and together with Vala, it's an issue. They're going for a double damage again, which already means that unless Lauba wants to play Leoric as a main tank, which he has done before, we are going to see only a solo support here for the two damage dealers. Morales is in! Every single time that I see Morales was also buffed slightly, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, every single time I see Morales, in my head is immediately like backdoor, backdoor, backdoor. But they don't have the lineup for a proper backdoor build here. But yeah, flying in with Tyrell and all the others would of course be great. would be kind of fun. Haven't seen that in a while. But the strategy is so well known, you know, that's very telegraphed when you're starting to pick the heroes. And you see counterbase. Hammer time! Hammer time in Zeratul with the ban on Uther. They eliminated one of the potential direct stuns that could hit Zeratul whenever he engages. And it's the hammer. Okay. Yeah, Grenade can screw with that a bit. What's Lauba taking? Time for Lauba to lock in the main tank. Yeah, that changed things a bit. That changed the equation. Hammer plus Zeratul. And Stukov! They go for the double support. So Lauba is apparently playing that Leo main tank again. They're gonna swap that around, I suppose. Or are we gonna... No, Lauba is playing Morales. No, okay, they will put him on Leo. For a second I was like, what are you doing? Okay, guys, we got the double support, double damage, and Leorki at the front line. Infernal Shrines, map number 4 in our best of 5 series. Let's jump straight in without further ado. Game number 4, let's go. On the left side, Team Cow Attack with Richu on Blaze, Mimikyu on Tyrael. We have Zeratul played by Arion, Sesabos and Sergeant Hammer, and Pestcard is playing Deckard Cain. And honestly, it feels a little bit like the Donuts play too much CCL. I mean, what is this? NA builds all over the place. The funny thing is that for quite a few of them, it already worked. Of course, the big question is, does it work once you're progressing a bit more throughout the tournament? But they have done stuff like this before. Lauba is playing his main tank, Leoric. That happened a few times. Mixed success, but a double support behind it to keep him alive with Skog on Stukov. We have Ixi on Morales. Marlo is playing Tychus, and Tai on Vala. Okay, so let's go and see what they can pull off now. We have Leorki already with Austin's Renewal as a level 1 ability. So in addition to the double support, he has some self-sustain too. And on top of this, the puncturing arrow for Vala. First thing that falls is Sergeant Hammer. The hammer got hammered, but once level 7 kicks in, that's more survivability. Morales is in the house, and Morales is kind of interesting. So this is currently a situation where Blizzard just said, listen guys, we have to buff her a little bit more. They also addressed her in one of the previous patches and shuffled some talents around and stuff. But now they, for example, made the cooldown reduction of the trauma trigger a bit more impactful, reduced it from 40 to 30 seconds. And just in general, they're trying to buff her a little bit. The health increase keeps her alive a bit longer. They increased also the health regeneration on her. And just the healing in general, from the healing beam, the Q, and the armor that you get through the safeguard. So Morales is now a bit stronger. We might go back to the good old Mokus Morales builds. But here we go. Mimikyu, they go for the hammer again and they get the kill. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. As memey as some parts of those combos are that the Donuts are playing, it's not like you can take it too easy against it. It's strong. It's all a question of how they played out, and they've done it against some of the teams where they were favored in the qualification tournaments already, with success, I might add. For me, the question is just simply what happens when they're going up against an opponent that is a clear favorite. Let's say, for example, you are using a build like this or a combo like this, and you're going up against the, Team Wah, the Hardos, just teams that are a little bit higher level there. Because no insult to you, Team Cow Attack here, no offense, but still, they are obviously still the underdogs. Either way, be it as it may, we got on level 4 now, the Trauma Trigger, already talked about it a bit, so the armor was changed there. Vala with another kill. This is a shit ton of damage that the Donuts can dish out now, and Team Cow Attack is just realizing that. So they have a lot of fantastic tools, especially in the later stages of the game, and they can rely on Bunker and Sanctification. But here in the early game, as you can tell, they are heavily struggling against all of this. So now we get the move in. On level 4, we got the Nil Peasants. Still in for him. Skog already getting attacked here again. Put into a corner. They will get the kill, but they're also going to lose one. Oh, that's a good explosion. Yeah, he gets the hits, but that is not enough to lock a kill in for them. Okay, so, well played so far. Zeratul, by the way, going for a full-on cleave build. Hammer has decided that this is just stupid, so she's at the top lane now and is trying to take those walls down. Lauba is saying hello quickly. And at the bottom, the siege on the fort is continued. But they're also moving into the mid lane now to try and get even more done here. As the shrine is activating, you need to focus on the objective as well. You can't just simply abandon all of this. The Master Assassin on level 4, again, for Tychus. It's all about the passive, the additional auto attack speed that you're getting here. Super important. Hammer has now gone into the barricade. Is trying to set that up. And with the level 7, we're of course going to have mobility for her finally, and that's really when Hammer starts to slowly shine. With a bit of a support from Teriel too, with a swift retribution of course. Yeah, and on level 7 are also the Willing Vessel. That's a nice lockdown. And Zeratul, can he get the kill? Tai comes in and tries to take them. They go for the Mocus Foralis, and it doesn't work. Instead, it's a kill against Zeratul. And Pesca is trying to get out of the fight too, but she goes down. Quick kill against Pesca. They got Kane eliminated. Hammer has now gone into the Hava Siege mode, and the Frozen Punisher has easily been locked in by the Donut. So now run 6 kills to 1, and, well, dominate on structures too? 1 level lead? They're crushing. They're absolutely crushing it. Yeah. That's another Tyrael kill. They're absolutely murdering this. I mean, damn son. On all lanes, they are pressuring structures, taking down forts, taking down towers. They're closing in on level 10. Hammer triggers the... No way. Not like this. What's happening? No. Hammer down, and I don't know, guys. That's 8 kills to 1 and nearly a 2-level lead. They absolutely underestimated the early game power of this combo, and they get murdered by it. And now we got the Medivac. We got the dropship. This is bad. This is bad news. 5 minutes in and 2 forts are down? Are you kidding me? Cow Attack, they need to get their act together, or they're gonna get crushed in this one. Absolutely farmed. They pop Odin. They have such a huge gap now in experience that they just say, why would we not use our ults? We want to get some value out of this. So let's break the bot lane, make sure that we open this gate up completely. And yeah, Zeratul is up at the top side, still fighting it out with Leo. They can't even take him. Yeah, Leo is rotating towards the middle, and they take the second tower down too, at least if they got another grenade here. They move back for now, but again, the wall is opened up, and that's all that they really needed to do here. 8 kills to 1, and bye-bye. Yeah, quick rotation towards the top lane. See ya! Everybody rotated down from Team Cow Attack as they have level 10, and they just went to the top. We also got a Void Prison, and we got the Lulnado. Lulnado is in the house, plus a Void Prison. I haven't seen that in a long time. Okay. So another wall is already down, and Zeratul turns into Zerafool and is dead again. Gets locked down by Stukov in the lurking arm. Hammer is at the bottom of the map. And it's just like, I'm doing things. I'm helping. Everybody at the top lane, they can't help them anymore. The little NATO's trying to zone them out a bit, but that could have led to another kill. Pestka was in trouble. So far, not really happening. Another fort about to be destroyed. At least close to it. Zeratul is at 16,000. I mean, his damage output is nice. These fuckers! Oh my god. No way! What? Oh, they're just going for the bus tour. They're just flying down, getting the kill. And now they're on level 13. They have a 2-level lead and they just take whatever they want on the map. That fly down was amazing. And I would be a bit pissed at this point. Yeah, they are triggered. 10 kills to 1? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Virulent reaction. They have level 13. How do you engage into this? The level 10 abilities are there, but that doesn't do anything for you. Now we have also Siphoning Arrow. Again, Vala's build changed a little bit. A lot of players have adjusted at level 4 and level 7 and the level 13 talent because Gloom and Hot Pursuit both got nerfed by Blizzard. There's the VP in the back. Already Odin gets used. That VP doesn't really do anything. And they are already on the run. Well, that Entomb didn't do anything either. So Richu is still alive and could bunker up if he needs to. We also have Sanctification, but here comes the Strafe. They are low and they're on the run. The bunker has been used. Richu is down, and everybody else is just moving away as they are chasing even more. And oh my god, Zeratul just got killed by Hammer. Zeratul just got killed by Sergeant Hammer. Don't believe me? Check it out. Right here. Zeratul is trying to get away, and then Hammer comes in and says, "Barricade, baby!" And Zeratul was just like, dude, are you serious? So, yeah. They are definitely not in sync. 12 kills to 1, 3-level disadvantage, talent disadvantage. Tychus might complete his level 4. Tychus might actually complete his Master Assassin. He's at 10 stacks already. He's at 10 stacks. I don't know what to tell you here. Damage, 21,000 for Vala. They're going for the keep. And this is getting to a ridiculous point. Yeah, they are... I mean, again, they can't save anything here. Just look at this game. The donuts, they're going through counter attack like hot butter through cheese. Lauber is in trouble. He's not even dying. There's 2 supports behind it. And now the back line of the blue team is about to commit Sudoku. Down goes Sergeant Hammer. Honorable Subaru here by the tank, and yeah, that just slides out. That's probably game right here. A few more stuns triggered, another kill. Teriel gets destroyed, and they're going for Zeratul. Everybody is dead or dying. The shield is already gone. That is the end for Team Cow Attack in the XCup Summer Playoffs. The Donuts move on to the next round of the tournament. GG and well played as they lock in the W on Infernal Shrines.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.